And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll call this meeting to order. Today's May 28th, and we're going to begin today's City Commission meeting. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Commissioner Victor Sebi-Haddad. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us the ability to serve our community in your honor. Guide us with humility, compassion, and wisdom in our decisions. May every decision be righteous in your sight, for our benefit and for your glory. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. We're going to continue now with proclamations. Our first proclamation is a home for every pet, Xochimilco. It will be given by Commissioner Haddad.
You and I? Faith? You want to come up?
Say yes.
Yeah. How you doing? I know you weren't here for the rest of our meeting. The rezonings and stuff.
No, yeah.
City of McAllen proclamation. Whereas more than 6 million pets end up homeless every year in the U.S. And in our community, there are about 1,000 pets awaiting homes on any given day. Palm Valley Animal Shelter employees in our community work tirelessly to help homeless pets, and volunteers in our community help support homeless pets through donations of time and funds. And pets make life better by giving people love, companionship, and comfort, getting us outside for exercise, and helping us build social connections. Our community recognizes the benefits of pets and is collaborating to reach our lowest rate ever for pet homelessness. I, Sebi Haddad, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim May 30th, 2024, a Home for Every Pet Day. You want to say some words on behalf of Chivas?
Hi, I'm Faith Wright. I'm the Director of Operations, and I've got Suzette Cruz, our Executive Director, with me as well. And I just really want to thank the McAllen community for everything that you have been doing to help us make this a better community. The animals at our shelter are thankful for everything that everyone is doing to help keep them cool, keep them fed, keep them in humane housing, keep them comfortable. And we are working very, very, very hard for all of the pets in this community. We're super excited about Thursday. We have 19 dogs coming to City Hall to be co-workers. So we're super excited about that. Several of them are from the second hoarding case, so that's going to be exciting to see them actually get to be involved outside of that kind of situation. So thank y'all.
Yeah, so as Faith mentioned, we are hosting our second annual puppy internship on Thursday. And so this is just a really great opportunity for the community to come into City of McAllen and see these pets. Sometimes it may be difficult for them to head out to the shelter, and they can see the pets in a friendly environment. And of course, they're going to learn great skills that they're going to be able to take home to their new forever family. So we invite everyone to stop by City Hall on Thursday and see all of these great puppies that will be our new interns for the day.
And everyone is altered.
Next, we have National Home Ownership Month to be delivered by Commissioner Zamora.
Hi, everyone. Don't worry, I took my rabies shot. Hi, Karen. How are you? I was wondering, how are you? As always. Hi, how are you? Good to see you today. How are you doing? And just in case you missed the memo, summer has arrived early in McAllen this week. Nevertheless, the City of McAllen Proclamation, State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen, whereas each day thousands of working families across the United States achieve the American dream of owning a home of their own. And whereas the City of McAllen has always been a proud and strong supporter of home ownership, which has positive impacts on family, neighborhoods, and the community. And whereas Affordable Homes of South Texas Incorporated was created through the efforts of dedicated citizens from the City of McAllen that rallied together in 1976 to improve housing conditions for families in McAllen. And whereas June also marks the 48th anniversary of Affordable Homes of South Texas, whose purpose is to create and support successful homeownership opportunities for families. And whereas Affordable Homes of South Texas is also celebrating the 26th anniversary of their Home Buyers Fair, which I attended some years ago, an annual free event focused on home ownership. And whereas Affordable Homes, in conjunction with the City of McAllen, as proud proponents of home ownership, will join with communities across the United States to recognize the month of June as National Home Ownership Month. Now, therefore, I, Joaquin Zamora, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by the virtue and authority vested in me on behalf of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2024 as National Home Ownership Month. As a short little anecdote, I just want to add, there's no greater joy and pride to move into a home. And I did that in 2012. And my family, our little family of three, myself, my wife, and my daughter, Emily, we lived in an apartment for almost 8 to 9 years. And one of the things that really hit me home was as we were saving towards putting down that down payment, is as we were looking for homes, my daughter explained several times, we're never going to find a house. We're never going to buy a house. And let me tell you, being a father, to hear that from your child, it hits you right here. And so I made sure that we stayed the course, remained steadfast. We kept up building up our little fund for a down payment. And thanks be to God, in 2012, I saw the biggest smile on my daughter's face when we entered into our home. So thank you, Affordable Homes, for all you do. And I was one of those participants on that home ownership buyership program that y'all put on, because I certainly benefited. And for those who are out there, certainly you can benefit from too, moving from an apartment or from other transitional housing into full home ownership. So congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Elias Lozano, and I'm the chairperson of Affordable Homes of South Texas Board. First of all, we'd like to express our gratitude to our city leadership for proclaiming June as National Homeownership Month. The recognition is more than just a proclamation. It is a powerful statement that underscores the importance of homeownership in strengthening our communities and empowering our residents. Your support is a testament to our shared commitment to help individuals and families achieve their dreams of owning a home, and we are truly grateful for it. June will also mark the 40th anniversary of our organization. Over the past 4 decades, we have successfully facilitated over 4,000 home purchases. This milestone is a testament to the hard work and dedication of our staff, volunteers, partners, and supporters. Thank you all for your unwavering commitment to our mission. As the Commission noted, we will be having our 26th annual Home Buyers Fair on Saturday, June 15th. The event, the only one of its kind exclusively for prospective homeowners, is crucial in providing valuable resources, education, and support to those on the journey to homeownership. We are proud of the fair's legacy and the impact on countless lives. Thank you again for the leadership of the City of McAllen and all past and former commissioners and city leaders. Thank you all.
Thank you for that. Next, we're honored to have members of the Jewish community here with us today as we recognize Jewish American Heritage Month being presented by Commissioner Castillo.
Shapiro. This is Shapiro.
Good evening. City of McAllen Proclamation, State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, and City of McAllen. Whereas the Jewish people have long been a vital part of the fabric of the City of McAllen, South Texas, and the United States, acting in positions of service to the community and country at every level, advancing our values and enriching every part of our civic life. And whereas we, the people of City of McAllen, celebrate our enduring alliances with our Jewish American neighbors, who are part of a 176-year-old history of Jewish community here in South Texas. And whereas each year of the month of May is set aside to celebrate the role that Jewish Americans, past and present, have played in the largest story of our people, offering us an opportunity to reflect on the prodigies and persecution Jewish people have faced throughout history. And whereas the City of McAllen is committed to past and ongoing remembrance and education about the Holocaust, the deliberate and systemic genocide of 6 million Jews and displacement of millions more. And whereas anti-Semitism continues to rise in our own country and across the world, it is imperative now more than ever that we stand in solidarity with Israel and the Jewish community to fight against hate, religious and bigotry, and terrorism, and not allow hate to disrupt our principles of community, cooperation, and cultural acceptance. Now, therefore, I, Rodolfo Ruiz Castillo, City Commissioner of City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue and authority vested in me, and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, do hereby proclaim the May 6, 2024 as Holocaust Remembrance Day. And furthermore, the month of May 2024 as Jewish American Heritage Month.
Thank you, Commissioner Castillo. We appreciate your standing by the Jewish community. In the past year, we have seen in our world the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the end of the Holocaust. And we have seen in that time anti-Semitism in this country rising at an alarming rate, more than quadrupled. And we know that our hearts and our prayers are in a land far away where there are still hundreds of hostages being held captive, including American citizens. However, in that time, the Jewish community has recommitted to our ongoing mission of being the light in a world of darkness, and we have helped through community organizations, working with organizations like Mujeres Unidas, Boys and Girls Club, and McAllen ISD to ensure that in the winter, people who needed food have food. In the summer, our school children who need food will have food. And especially, we are grateful for the City of McAllen, not only for this recognition, but the ongoing partnership, including our recent partnership to bring educational resources into the city through an incredible exhibit that was at our IMAS museum recently in partnership with the museum and the city that taught about the Holocaust in this one-of-a-kind traveling exhibit. That partnership with the city means a tremendous amount to us, and we are blessed to live in a community where we have the support of our neighbors, where we can feel safe and secure because of the work that you do. Thank you.
Eric, always good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Yes, sir.
Next, we're going to have a presentation on the HR Impact Award. Christina Flores.
Good evening. So earlier this month, the HR department was recognized by the Texas Municipal Human Resources Association with its 2024 HR Impact Award, which recognizes programs and initiatives that make a positive impact on the organization's employees and enhances the organization's culture. The specific program that we were recognized for was our Leadership Development Program, which provides leadership training to new supervisors. And I am extremely thankful for and proud of my staff who works tirelessly not only to make this program a success, but every day to make sure that they have a positive impact on our employees. And this is for them. I would also like to thank our city manager for his continued support of the HR department, as well as our city commission for their trust and support and staff. Thank you.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Good job.
Okay, we'll continue. We're going to open up the public hearing part of the meeting. Item number 1A, routine items.
Mayor Pro Tem, for the record, we would like to remove A1 and 8 from routine and deal with them separately.
Okay,
Okay, the routine items that come before you come with a favorable recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission for the rezonings. Some conditional use permit come with a favorable recommendation to distance requirement. The first one that's on the agenda that will be acted on the routine item will be item 2, which is to rezone from I-1 to R3A, property located at 4420 North Ware Road rear. The next item is item 3, which is to rezone from C3L to C3, property located at 6317 North Ware Road. Item 4 is for a conditional use permit for 1 year and adoption of an ordinance for a bar. This comes with a favorable recommendation. It's located at 114 South 20th Street. Item 5 is a request for a conditional use permit for life of the use for a gasoline station, 620 East Ridge Road. Item 6 is a request for an amendment to a conditional use permit for life of the use for institutional use, a church, property located at 708 Ridgeland Avenue. And item 7 is a conditional use permit for 2 years and adoption of an ordinance for a bar at 2007 Orchid Avenue. It also comes with a favorable recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
okay, so this is a public hearing. I'll ask if there's anybody to speak in favor or against items number 2 through 7. Anyone here to speak on these items?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve items 2 through 7, and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And go back to item number 1.
Okay, we go back to item A1. It's the property located at 113, 119, and 125 Pecan Boulevard. The property is currently zoned C3. It's on the north side of Pecan Boulevard, and it's zoned, it's zoned C3L currently. The zoning is R1 to the north, C2 to the east and west, C1 and R3A to the south. There is a commercial plaza that exists on the property, and the applicant is proposing to rezone it to allow for more flexibility in the uses that would be allowed on the property. The comprehensive plan calls for this area to be a complete community serving the area with offices, neighborhood retail and services, and not a community, and not a shopping center which would serve the community as a whole. Therefore, it does not comply with the plan. The C3L was approved in 2005. There was a rezoning in 2020, request to rezone it to C3. That was disapproved by the City Commission with concerns with ingress and egress to the property. Staff has not received any opposition calls. At the meeting of May 7th, 2024, the Planning and Zoning Commission considered the request. The applicant again explained the reason for his request. Following the discussion, the board voted to unanimously to disapprove the request with 4 members present and voting.
What's staff's recommendation on this one?
The staff's recommendation was disapproval also.
Disapproval, okay.
that time,
So
yes,
it's
sir.
different than what was listed on the,
Correct.
okay,
It was pulled from,
from routine
yeah.
to
That's right, yeah.
discuss separately, yeah.
Okay.
Any comments, questions?
Is there anyone against?
Oh, anyone here to speak for or against this item? Okay.
I'm just, my name's Rene Gonzalez.
Come to the front.
I've been the property manager for this plaza for 15 years. We've never had it over 60% occupancy. I think a big part has to be the C3L. I've had to tell a lot of people no. And so I'm just asking that you guys would consider so I can have a little bit more opportunities in there. I have 2 current tenants. I have Rick Ramos here that has a wine shop. He's been there for a year. He's been an excellent tenant. Moving this would help him on getting his permit. And I also have another tenant there that it's a smoke shop, but if that tenant would leave, I wouldn't be able to rent that space again. And so my biggest concern is just filling the voids that I have. If the people that do leave now, it's going to be really hard to just get it up to where I have it now. So I'm just hoping that you guys would consider and get it there to C3.
Okay. Thank you for that. We need a super majority on this? Okay.
I would make a motion to approve. I didn't see any problems with it when I reviewed it.
The
Is there a second?
discussion? No.
Oh, yeah, we can continue discussion.
Okay, let's continue the discussion.
Okay, so I'm familiar with the property very well. The only problem that I see is that, and I saw when I was in the planning and zoning board as well, and now again over here, is that egress and egress is a little bit difficult, and the parking as well. It's very limited. I used, because it's Mr. Ramos' business, and then there's a hair salon that I used to use over there myself, and take the Pepito also over there. But that is very difficult to maneuver ingress, egress, and the parking is going to be a big thing for a C3.
Well, I agree with you, but I think there obviously was no opposition. I guess we're probably all familiar with it. This is a very long-standing kind of triple plaza or little plaza right there, right? And so I saw that ingress, egress issue and the parking as the natural limitation of what businesses would be interested in going in there anyway. Any business that would go, some of them might have to apply, CUP or things of that nature. So at that point,
you have the school right there.
yeah. So there's another natural stopgap to, I think.
What kind of business are you trying to probably attract, Mr. Gonzalez? I'm just trying to open the opportunity. Again, I do have 2 tenants there currently. That one has a special permit and one's been there for I think over 8-9 years. But now, as the city has progressed and changed their laws on smoke shops and other things, again, I'm just scared that if they ever vacate, I'm not able to fill that. And like Commissioner Sebi says, parking is an issue. So the businesses that they're going to be there are going to be businesses that are come and go. It's not, no bars, no lounges, nothing that stays for a lot because there's not a lot of parking. So we've managed it. If we could get more parking, we probably could work with our neighbors to make that a little bit better. But, again, I'm just looking to get the opportunity, sir, because, with COVID to now, I've had to say more no than yes. And parking's been an issue, so it's not like I get a lot of applicants off the bat.
Mr. Gonzalez, without naming any individual or specific business, have you missed opportunities because you didn't have the right zoning?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem and the rest of the board, and Mr. Gonzalez, with all due respect, you have neighborhoods behind you, and they're zone R1. The other lots that are east and west of you are neighborhood commercial and C1, which is office. There's a reason why, at least my logic tells me there's a reason why those were zoned the way it is, along with yours that was C3L, because it does, pro forma by the ordinance, prohibit certain types of businesses to enter. And the way I look at this, because there are smaller lots than your typical C3 lot, which is very deep, right? It may not be very wide in the front, but sometimes they go deeper. Good example is the North 10th HEB off 10th and Fern. Compared to the other lots, it goes several hundred feet away from 10th Street. And that's to kind of preserve the character of the neighborhood, you know, to have like a natural barrier buffer, if you want to call it, so that you don't have that kind of activity or too much traffic or activity in that general area. Obviously, to the immediate east, you have a larger lot that's also Zone 3, just south of the school, but you have like a natural barrier. You have the actual school street, which is Cynthia Street. You know, and I have concerns. Obviously, there was a board here some years ago that thought it was important enough to, at the maximum, rezone it as C3L to preserve that neighborhood. And I mean, at least from the way I look at it, you know, I think we should respect that, even though no one has apparently opposed it. But I have to go back to the rationale why everything west is C1 and everything immediately around you, as you know, is C2.
I will say, when you're looking at the map, all these are kind of blocks of color, right? So these are the only ones that are, to some extent, a multi-tenant strip center, small spaces, right? These other ones, C1, C2, are kind of standalone, older buildings that are, you know, one is just a law firm, one is just a real estate office.
Oh, I
I think
see.
they're not
Together.
strip centers. They're not little kind of joint facilities. So they've probably never needed to convert. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I think I agree with both of y'all, but I think that the future tenants are going to be very limited because of the parking. And they'll limit themselves. So there's
That's
just,
the way I see it.
Yeah, and the city's not going to permit any type of establishment that's going to require more than 10 or 12 parking spaces, whatever, or less. So it's C3 because it's in a thoroughfare, as you know, Pecan is, but I guess it's prohibiting you to get what type of
Well, I mean, obviously, I can't get restaurants, right?
Well, no, you can't.
Because
Yeah.
there's no parking.
Yeah,
right?
it's no parking, yeah.
And so I've had liquor stores, I've had a decline. I've had.
Okay, so a liquor store would be declined?
Yes.
It would be declined because it's an L instead of
Correct.
C3? Okay.
Correct. And that would be a good business
And the
there.
liquor store will not generate that much traffic?
Well, it's in and out. They
It's
close-
in and out,
most of
yes,
them close
it's in
by
and out, yeah.
early evening.
And so,
So I'm
you
saying
know,
it's nothing that they're gonna stay for hours there
Correct.
consuming or anything like that. So they're in and out, and that would probably be adequate parking there. So I tend to agree with Sebi on this one. Yeah. To allow the C3, and if there's no opposition out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else here to speak in favor or against the item from the public? So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
You're in favor?
Mm-hmm.
I guess, yeah, the parking might limit the activity over there, just to make sure that,
It's
because
self-limiting.
well, the thing is, that
So-
sometimes you can do agreements also with other properties
can't be
nearby
used for
to have
deciding
the parking.
zoning.
You know?
No way.
Parking is
You cannot
not a
consider
reason.
parking in your determination whether to rezone.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The what, I'm sorry?
You cannot use parking as a factor in your consideration to rezone or not rezone.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion. Commissioner
made a motion.
I made a
Haddad.
motion to go with staff approval, no opposition.
Second.
Recommend.
And there's a
I
second,
second the motion.
and that's to approve the rezoning, right? Okay,
Can
the-
I ask for a clarification, Mayor Pro Tem? There's a denial by the P and Z.
That's right.
And it was mentioned that you needed a supermajority, and I don't believe that to be true. You don't need a supermajority of the city commission if it comes with a negative recommendation. Is that right?
I think it does.
Only-
I think it
only-
does.
Can I finish? Only when you have 20% or more opposition.
That used to be the case.
No,
but
I
it's
think
been
to overturn,
changed
you need a
lately.
supermajority.
It's both requirements, which is why we give planning and zoning the opportunity to send it with a recommendation for disapproval but with a positive recommendation. This one doesn't appear to come with a positive recommendation, and so it's my opinion that it triggers the
I don't think that's
supermajority.
correct. I would recommend you table this, because I think that's not correct.
No, I agree with council on this one, and I'm going to make a motion to table said item.
There's a motion.
Well, we have a motion
I'm
already.
sorry.
in
Okay.
in
Yeah,
table,
that's right.
but table it and consider, I want to go, well, study it a little bit more.
You want?
There might be a
About to tell them I'm right.
One
There
second.
might be a clarification.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Can we table this and bring it back later in the meeting?
Today's
We are-
meeting?
We are, today's meeting, we are under shot clock requirements with the planning department, and so
Okay.
This
Okay.
is a
table it.
decision
Let's
we should
skip
try
it.
to make today.
You don't have to table it, because we
skip
can
it.
just come back and.
Yeah, we'll come
consider
back
it.
We can reconsider it in a little while in the agenda, please.
let's go
So we have a
Let's go to
motion.
item number
They
8.
can they have to rescind it,
Just-
or?
We can pass the motion, pass the item and come back to it later in the agenda.
Yeah.
We'll get clarification on the law.
Very good.
We'll go to item number 8.
Rain delay.
Rain delay.
Rain delay. There we go.
Go to item 8.
Item 8.
Okay, I've had to find myself here. The next item is item A8, which is a request for a conditional use permit. Property is located at 7824 North Benson Road. It's for institutional use. It's located at the southeast corner of Auburn and Benson Road. Property is zoned R1 as well as the north and south. To the west, you have AO, you have R2 to the east, and uses include single-family and vacant land. The requested conditional use permit is for an existing building that's approximately 2,000 square feet, which will be used for a church. The hours will be on Sunday at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. There are 4 parking spaces provided. They've indicated they would have a seating capacity of 2. The fire department is required to complete its inspection, and the request must comply with Section 138, 118 of the zoning ordinance. Item was considered May 7th, 2024 by the Planning and Zoning Commission. There was no opposition. Following discussion, the board unanimously recommended to approve the conditional use permit with 4 members present and voting, and this would be for life of the use. Following the meeting, we did receive a call from one of the adjacent property owners with concerns regarding traffic, the use not being compatible with the residential uses, parking, and they also had not received a notice. Based on the information provided and location, we did check. They were outside the 200-foot radius. But it did come with a recommendation of approval from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yeah.
Anyone here to speak against this item? Okay.
I had some questions on the guy had been pulled. What, only 4 spaces are required for a church service? That's going to be.
They only have 4 spaces on the property. It was a residence and now it's being converted to a church. Based on the formulation, they can have a seating capacity of up to 16 people. They've indicated to staff that they're only got seating for a couple of people, 2 people. So they meet the parking requirements, but they would be limited based on the 4 parking spaces that are provided.
Okay. A small church, a main sanctuary, a classroom for children, a meeting room, an office, all of that for 10 to 16 people?
Well, the parking requirements will be based on the seating capacity in the sanctuary, not the other uses which would be affiliated or associated with the church itself. So we wouldn't take the classrooms for the church or the dining area or the baptismal area as a separate use. We would base it on the seating capacity. So with only 4 spaces that they provide, they could not exceed 16 seating capacity.
Maybe we hear from the applicant. Is the applicant here?
Like to come forward, sir?
It's a big change, life of use for a hard corner in residential.
Yeah.
For a little house.
Voy a hablar en español, ¿está bien para
Sí,
ustedes?
seguro,
Sí,
claro
sí,
que sí.
está bien.
Comparezco para un permiso de el uso de una propiedad para alabar y adorar el nombre de nuestro Dios. Esa es la razón por la cual fui citado. Y quiero saber si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta al respecto.
Pues la pregunta que ahorita tenemos es la capacidad para estacionarse.
Oh, sí. Ya el Departamento de Planeación me habló de, según los asistentes actuales, de 4 cubículos. Ya los hicimos. Pero si es necesario, haremos más.
Pero es con 4,
Eso fue lo que me señaló Planeación.
sí, por el tamaño que
Sí, de los
está
asistentes.
la casita
Sí.
ahorita. No, No lo vas a cambiar o nada.
¿Cómo?
¿Se va a cambiar o nomás?
En caso
¿Vas a construir
necesario,
algo nuevo?
tenemos espacio para incrementarlo, pero actualmente está ya preparado así.
En otras palabras, ¿va a renovar la casa para hacer uso para iglesia? ¿O
La-
lo va a usar como está ahorita?
La casa era residencia, pero está deshabitada y estamos usando una sala muy grande que tiene para las reuniones.
Ok, eso no va a cambiar. Bueno,
Ahorita
Sí.
dice que...
En este momento no vamos a hacer modificaciones del lugar.
Ok, entonces ahorita los 4 espacios dicen que puedes tener 2 gentes sentados en el sanctuary,
Ajá.
más 2. ¿Un servicio para 2 gente?
Bueno, me hablaron, yo les mencioné que éramos 14 los que asistimos ahora. Y ellos me dijeron que 4 cubículos eran suficientes, pero si ustedes me dicen que tengo que hacer más, los hacemos.
Ok.
Yeah, based on the 4 parking spaces, they can have up to 16 seating capacity.
Oh,
It's
based
one
on-
space for every 4 seats in a church
Oh, I see.
sanctuary,
Okay,
so
here
they
it
would
says,
be able to have
based
up
on
to
the 2
16.
seats proposed?
That was the indication that we got, and we were trying to verify, but that's what we were gathering, but they can have up to 16, based
okay,
on the
that
4
makes more
spaces.
sense. It's 4 per parking space.
4 per parking space.
Right.
Any
And I assume
recommendation?
we don't really have any kind of definition of size of congregation that defines a church, right? I mean,
No, sir.
We can't do that.
I'm sure about that one.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I know. I figured it.
Nuestros planes a futuro son construir un edificio, pero eso nos va a tomar algunos años.
Y cuando lo hacen, entonces tienen que regresar para esos permisos
claro.
y se hace
Claro.
lo adecuado.
Ajá.
Make a motion to accept it.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'll take a,
Would it have to be life of use is the only option?
Oh, that's what.
All right. So these requests.
You can do it for a lesser time frame. They requested life of the use. If in the future they want to construct, demolish, construct, add, whatever, they would need to amend the conditional use permit that's approved. But you do have an option to approve it for less than life of the use.
Okay.
Okay.
okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Ahí se lo aprobaron. ¿Cómo? Se lo aprobaron.
Okay.
Are we going back to item number 1, or
We can, Mayor Pro Tem, if
Okay.
someone, city manager wants to.
let's take up item number 1 again?
¿Les doy las gracias o no?
So to, so to
Bueno,
clarify,
muchísimas gracias
Gracias a usted.
a sus señorías.
Gracias.
better go before they change their mind. So, for clarity, the ordinance says a supermajority of those present,
Present, right.
not the supermajority of
The whole board.
Because that's what I heard, is that it
Okay.
required a supermajority of the entire commission. It does not. So you need 5 affirmative votes to pass it.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
3 opposed. Motion fails. Okay. Item B now, amending the zoning ordinance of the city of McAllen.
So move.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the ordinance, zoning ordinance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passed. That's the end of the public hearing. We'll go on to item number 2, consent agenda. Is there anything from the consent agenda that we would want to remove and discuss separately?
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to approve items 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, and 2E as set forth in the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 3, bids and contract.
3A is award of contract for HVAC system cooling tower repairs at Convention Center. Mayor Pro Tem, we're recommending that we reject this bid. It was part of a co-op where we got the pricing from, and as it turns out, that co-op does not service our area, and therefore, we're recommending rejection.
Is there a motion to reject?
Motion to reject.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
B is consideration and approval of contract amendment number 2 for additional services to 33rd Street roadway improvements.
Mayor Pro Tem and Commission, the item before you is for the additional professional engineering services associated with the engineering design services for potable water infrastructure along 33rd Street Extension Project from Oxford Avenue to Auburn Avenue. Services to be funded by the McAllen Public Utilities. Halfen Associates, Inc. is presently contracted for the 33rd Street roadway improvement project. Staff recommends approval of the contract amendment number 2, Halfen Associates, for the additional professional services as stipulated in the attached proposal for a lump sum fee of $20,000, $20,400. And we open it up for any questions.
Any questions?
You're not moving any water line right now, you're adding? Or-
They're going to be extending a water line
extending.
across 33rd. They'll have to go under, I believe, one of the irrigation districts. They have to get a permit. They're already on services with the engineering department for the roadway, so MPU is piggybacking off our services and just including it in the plans.
Got it. Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
C is consideration and approval of a 10-foot utility easement at 501 East Jasmine Avenue.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, the item before you is for consideration and approval of a proposed utility easement conveyance with the Hidalgo Housing Authority in the city of McAllen to grant a 10-foot utility easement. As you know, we are currently building a splash pad there at Curtis Park, and we need that 10-foot utility easement to get the drainage.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
Thank you.
D is consideration of approval of a dark fiber lease agreement with McAllen Data Center.
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, thank you. We have, City of McAllen owns about 60 miles of private fiber. We're utilizing about 20 to 25% of the fiber. McAllen Data Center would like to lease 4 strands or 2 pairs of our fiber. The staff recommends entering into a 15-year contract with them, bringing revenue upfront about $14,000 with a recurring annual revenue of about $5,000 with a 5% increment escalation every year for the next 15 years.
The term is okay? 15 years? You want to do?
Yeah, yeah. Terms usually are anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 to 20. The longer the term, the better rate that they get, yeah.
And the rate is a comparable rate,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
doing business as type?
We've done research. Rate varies anywhere from 700 to 2,000 per strand per mile. We're at
As long as-
1,500.
As long as we're justified.
Yeah, we're more on the top end.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion.
Sir, I'm not sure who you are, but I'd like to have Mr. Robert Acosta up here, please.
There's a motion and a second.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Look
Thank
sharp.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
4A is consideration of variance request to 1, contractual agreement for paving, drainage, and sidewalks, and 2, north-south Porter Collector Road for proposed subdivision at 13401 Los Ebanos Road.
Okay, this is a 2-lot subdivision. It's a 9.81 acre tract on the west side of Los Ebanos Road, just north of 8.5 Mile. Property is in the ETJ as well as the surrounding uses with single-family and vacant land existing. The first variance is to request a contractual agreement for public improvements for Los Ebanos Road for paving, drainage, sidewalks, fire hydrants in lieu of escrowing the money. They are dedicating the required 30-foot right-of-way for future 100-foot, 65 feet of pavement for Los Ebanos Road. The second request is a variance to not provide right-of-way dedication for a north-south collector street, quarter-mile street, on the west boundary. There is an existing Water District Number 7 right-of-way that's on the outside of the plat, on the west side. The basis for the request is that there is no existing street existing at this location at this time. We have, however, the city did approve a plat several years ago, approximately half mile to the north. They did dedicate the right-of-way for that future north-south quarter-mile street, which would be north 120th Street. The Planning and Zoning Commission reconsidered the subdivision plan and revised preliminary at their meeting of May 21st of this year. Following discussion of the board approved it subject to contractual agreement and a plat note indicated that the owner would dedicate future right-of-way should the collector roadway be required along the west side. Staff recommends option 2, which reflects the requirements as set forth by the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation.
Motion to approve option 2.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
C is a consideration of a variance request to not require the subdivision process at 11505 North La Lomita Road.
Okay, we still need item B?
Yeah, B.
I think we skipped it.
Oh, you want to do that?
I made a mistake too, so it's okay.
Okay. Let's do B. Consideration of variance request for interior street right-of-way, cul-de-sac right-of-way requirement, block length, and cul-de-sac length at 1301 Auburn. Sorry about that.
Okay, this is a request consisting of 4 variances. Property is part of the District Phase 3 development. It's 24 lots for townhomes, with one of the lots being a detention area. It is zoned R3T, and surrounding uses include commercial, elementary, middle schools, single-family, and vacant land. Variance number 1 is to allow a 50-foot right-of-way with a 10-foot utility and sidewalk easements on both sides of the interior street. Instead of the required 60, 40 feet of pavement is provided. Second variance is to have a 56-foot cul-de-sac radius instead of the 58-foot required. The 96-foot face-to-face pavement will be provided. It'll be 8 feet back of curb with a proposed 10-foot utility and sidewalk easements around the cul-de-sac. The third variance is to allow a block length of greater than 900 feet. The proposed block length is approximately 980 feet. And the fourth variance is to allow a cul-de-sac at 620 feet, which exceeds the maximum 600 foot that's allowed by ordinance. The Planning and Zoning Commission did consider the request May 7, 2024. Following discussion, the board voted unanimously to approve the plan in revised preliminary form and recommend approval of the requested variances with the 4 members present and voting. The staff is recommending option 1, which reflects Planning and Zoning Commission action, and the paving for the interior street would be at 40 feet.
Did we change the maximum block length by ordinance a couple?
We have changed it. It used to be 800 feet, and now it fluctuates depending on the land use.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
C is consideration of a variance request at 11505 North La Lomita.
Okay, this is a request to allow issuance of a building permit without the subdivision process being required. The property is a 0.64 acre tract of land on the west side of La Lomita Road, south of 107. It is zoned R1, and surrounding uses include single-family and vacant land. The proposal is that the owner acquired the property in 1996 by meets and bounds, and it was not subdivided. There is an existing mobile home on the property that will be removed, and a new residence will be built in its place. The subdivisions have been approved in the area. There's been 2 in the surrounding areas. We also had 1 subdivision variance that was approved for the property to the north to allow the issuance of a building permit without the subdivision plat being required. The basis for the request is the time involved with the subdivision process, and the use will remain again as a single-family residence. The options that are listed in your packet, staff recommends disapproval of the request and instead requires subdivision in accordance with the local government code and subdivision ordinances of the city. However, if the variance is approved, it should be subject to option number 2, which requires approval subject to right-of-way dedications for 40 feet from center line, contractual agreement as needed, compliance with traffic, engineering, McAllen Public Utility, and fire requirements.
Okay, I think we have but I think we're allowing the head of planning, I believe, to review these type of situations where they're small, they're residential in this case, they're not being subdivided, but, you know, they were bought by meets and bounds years and years ago. And then we annexed that area recently. It was in the ETJ before. But I think we're allowing the head of the department to use judgment. Is that the case, Roy?
No, sir.
No?
It has to come here for that variance.
For a variance, right. But did you all look in planning and zoning?
We did look at the history of the split of the property to see if it predated our jurisdiction, was like in the 80s. We did not find a deed with this legal description existing prior to that. Had we found one, then we would have been able to allow the issuance of the building permit because it predated our jurisdiction. We did not find that, therefore the variance before the commission is required.
Is this near the fire department training facility?
Yes, sir.
It is?
It'd be north of the fire department training center, yes.
We've seen a lot of development, especially on the east side, north of Sprague, east of La Lomita, with, I think, duplexes and I think single-family homes.
Yes, there is single family and a duplex development, fourplex development that's there.
I can't say so much on the west side that there's been a lot of either new residential or new multifamily residential, but that area is slowly starting to develop.
Yes, it tends to be, a lot of it is owned by one family, family members.
Right.
We have had one subdivision on the west side that was done. We also have had one variance that was done to allow the permit without the subdivision requirement on the west side.
On the west side.
Yes, sir.
So there's water, there's sewer, and then there's drainage because of the other development around it, right?
There'll be some improvement, yeah, there is improvements there now that didn't exist. Several years ago, I think, can't think of the name of the subdivision, but
Right.
they did install the improvements. And then with the fire training center that's going up and other developments, services are getting there. They might still need to do some extension and some connections, and that's the condition of the McAllen Public Utility Department.
But when the line runs there, there's a condition that they have to tap into it, right?
Correct, yes, sir. And that's part of the MPU requirements.
Right.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the variance.
Okay, is that option 1 or 2?
I would say it's.
Option 2 is what we
Option 2
recommend.
is the one that makes them connect and everything.
Correct, the
And goes
contractual
with-
agreement,
Yes.
dedication, and so on, yes, sir.
Option 2.
Okay, option 2?
Mayor Pro Tem, I see what the address is. I do own some property. Just out of abundance of caution, I'm going to abstain.
Okay.
I know it's within at least a half a mile of that lot, so I'm going
All
to go
right.
ahead and abstain.
Okay, there's a
I'll file
motion.
with the city secretary.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. One opposed and one abstention.
Motion carries.
Motion
Passes.
carries.
5A is Immigration and Respite Center report. Are you giving that, Elvira?
Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, very little change to the immigration report. The numbers continue to trend down over the past couple of weeks, 169 new arrivals daily, excuse me. Ansel Duas Park remains with a capacity of 250 people and available to increase or decrease as necessary.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Future agenda items, item B. Anything to add to our future agenda item list? Not, we'll go on to item 6A, tabled items.
Mayor Pro Tem, we're ready to take action on the item.
Is there a motion to remove it from the table?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Mayor Pro Tem and Commission, the presentation regards the consideration of an interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of McAllen for roadway improvements to Sherry Road from SH 107 to Mile 9 Road. This agreement aims to facilitate the transformation of Sherry Road from a 2-lane to a 5-lane roadway covering various phases such as design, right-of-way acquisition, environmental, construction management, and engineering inspections. The city's projected contribution to the project amounts to $393,395 with an anticipated timeline extending from the present to December 2028. The interlocal agreement delineates responsibilities, timelines, and financial commitments. Staff recommends approval of the interlocal agreement as presented, and we open it up for any questions.
Any questions?
Was that discussed during budget time, last year?
Very, very little, but we had it in a workshop, probably a couple of meetings back. And it took us a little while because we were negotiating the percentage
Yeah.
between the county and ourselves. And Eduardo finally negotiated that, so we're recommending we move
And
forward.
what was that percentage again?
40%, Commissioner.
40%. Very good, so moved. So
Very
moved.
good. There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.
Mayor Pro Tem, I recommend that the items listed under item 7 be considered in a closed session for the reasons cited there.
Okay, we'll recess to executive session. Session.
Mayor Pro Tem, with respect to the items listed under number 7 on the agenda, all three, A through C, I recommend that the commission take no action.
Okay, there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.